It's Trans Awareness Week 2024. What does that mean for a music reaction channel? Well, that it's the perfect time to highlight the story and amazing voice of Marcie Free. Hi, and welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, what I often do here is highlight music that's a wee bit under the radar. I'm definitely doing that today, but digging even deeper for a celebration of Trans Awareness Week, which this year has a theme of celebrating our trans heroes. So before I get to a musical trans hero, quick shout out to all my trans friends, those I've met and those I've not yet, but especially to my personal trans hero, well, trans or otherwise, really, who foolishly and recklessly encouraged me, and without whom I would not have the life that I've had. I shudder to think what my life would have been without this person coming into it. So, Lexi, thanks for everything. Love you. And you better know that. You know that, right? Good. So at this point, I usually be getting to the music because people have short attention spans. What can you say? And I will, of course, be playing a track for us to listen to that highlights Marcie, but this one maybe requires a little bit more context than usual. So bear with. And do hit that like button, unless you're a transphobe, but I'm sure they've jogged on already. And good riddance. So, Marcie Free is not a household name, nor was she when, as Mark Free, she fronted bands such as King Cobra and Signal in the 80s, and then in the early 90s with Unruly Child. But those albums all remain very highly favoured by aficionados of a certain brand of melodic rock, and it's Marcie's vocals that are a key component of their continued cult status. I'll be referencing a couple of interviews with Marcie, and I'll link to those in the comments below so you can read more on her as a starting point there if you so desire. But suffice to say that her career as a rock singer basically ended pretty much instantly when she came out as trans back in November 1993. Interviewed in 2006 by the great Andrew McNeice at melodicrock.com, a website that has kept the flag flying for this type of music for decades now, and without whom I wouldn't have heard of Marcie or all sorts of great bands. So thank you, Andrew. In that interview, she said that she felt exiled from the music business, saying, "The world was not ready for the likes of me or anyone like me. After I announced that I could no longer live as Mark, my whole musical world quickly fell apart." Now, being some years removed from that trauma at this point in time, she added it was probably the best thing for her to do to bow out anyway, adding that the best thing this change has given me is my peace of mind. That is the most simple concept for most people, but the most difficult to attain if you're not living inside the body, if you feel like you are inside. Once I did attain it, it immediately took away my desire to become famous and to be loved and adored by everyone like I was striving for while living in the body of Mark Free. And I think that's just a great example for those of us lucky enough to have been born in the right body, if you can call this that. You know what I mean. To hear testimony, I suppose, from someone who was in the wrong body for close to 40 years. Now, in that interview, she was asked about the possibility of Unruly Child reuniting for new music, which seemed pretty far-fetched at the time, to be honest. But she said then that that would be up to Bruce, who was Bruce Gowdy, the guitarist and leader of the band, really. She said he treated me quite harshly near the end, and I would have to see an intense, sincere effort on his part to make amends. Well, happy news, because a few years later she and Bruce reconnected and the old wounds were healed. And then in 2010, a new Unruly Child album emerged, Worlds Collide. And the track we're hearing is from that album. It's the album closer, in fact, You Don't Understand, which was largely written by Marcie. As she explained in another interview with Rock Eyes, she said, "I wasn't even planning on writing a song that day. I was sitting in front of my computer waiting for it to boot up." 2000s, folks. You remember that? I looked up and saw my acoustic guitar sitting there. I picked it up and bam, the song came out of me. I started writing the lyric and it all flowed out of me instantaneously. It felt as if God had picked me up by the ankles and shook it out of me. In the end, the lyric came from my perspective as a result of my gender change and how it destroyed my marriage, how much it hurts, and how some people really don't understand how it feels to be me. I wanted a way to express those feelings, but do it in a way that wasn't in your face about it. Well, we're about to hear she succeeded because you put up with my voice for quite long enough. It's finally time to hear hers. So here is Marcie Free and Unruly Child with You Don't Understand.
When you turn your face up to the sky, do you see the full moon in my eyes? Does it make you stop and wonder why you don't understand? It matters how I made you bleed. It was I who produced the bitter seed. You can't unlock the door without a key. You just don't was more than my heart you left behind. We can change our lives or not our minds. I don't understand. Don't you know? We try to keep it deep inside. Oh, we try to hide. Don't you know? Can we just learn to get along? Don't really matter who's right or wrong. Don't you know? Hey, 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 don't you know? I could never take back what it did to you. If I could, I would make my amends to you. I forever love you my whole life through. I hope you understand. I forever love you my whole life through. I hope you understand. Don't you know, no. When we try to find it, we can't hide it. Don't you know? Just open up your heart, baby. Just open up your heart, 'cause I'm gonna come inside. Don't you know? Try to love one another. We gotta love one another, baby.
All right, that was Marcie with You Don't Understand, and of course the rest of the Unruly Child gang. Some notable members in that band, by the way. Jay Shellen on the drums, who these days is with Yes, and Guy Allison on the keyboards, who for many years was touring with the Doobie Brothers. I saw him at least twice with them. Um, yeah, hard to believe that Marcie hadn't been singing really at all for close to 15 years at the point that they got back together to do this album. And they've done another four since, so it wasn't a one-off. I don't quite know if it's an ongoing concern. The last album came out in 2020, so whether there will be more from them, I'm not sure. But what a voice, eh? Anyone watching who actually knows the album and the song will have realized that I've done something I never do, which is to do a musical edit myself, because there's about a minute intro to that song before the vocals kick in. And I thought we should just dive straight in to get to Marcie's voice, given what we're talking about today. The full album is available on YouTube and Spotify and all those places for those who want to dig deeper. Now, I'll briefly mention, since this is Trans Awareness, I've never seen anything negative written about Marcie by fans over the years, which I'm pleased to say. But occasionally, you'll see people still referring to Marcie as Mark Free. It's possible that they don't even realise that Mark changed. It's not as if it was widely reported news to the general public. While it's still definitely acceptable to call Twitter Twitter because X is fucking stupid. When it comes to people, call them what they're called to themselves. So Marcie's Marcie. Simple. Not to patronise anybody, but in case people don't get it, there's some people who have early Fleetwood Mac albums with a member called Christine Perfect on there. You don't still refer to her as Christine Perfect, do you? Because she changed her name, and it would be unusual to think of her as anything but Christine McVie. Well, it's the same with Mark. You've got albums that says Mark Free, but, well, Marcie is who she is, so. And she's bloody great. She's 70, unbelievably now, and I hope she's doing very well. And I hope you are too. And I enjoyed the chance to show her off, and as ever on YouTube, you never know who's going to find you or why they're going to, so whatever your reasons for coming to this video, I hope you got something out of it and learned something or enjoyed something or just had a really nice time. And if you did, there's some completely different videos that you can carry on watching floating about my head about now. So I will just say thanks very much for joining me today and bye for now, but I hope not for long.
Acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.